Sometimes I wish the iPad recording was a little different. Let us get set up here to start this podcast episode. I'm excited. Are you excited? You know, it's just been really crazy because I have literally, like, my nails, just got my nails done the other day, and like my charms, they keep snagging my comforter, which I can't really show y'all right now, but okay, hold on, let's get a cute little setup going here. I don't know, it's just very chill. It's very, it's just us. It's me and you. We're having a conversation. Good vibes only. So, about to put this hoodie on because your girl is cold. And I'm really excited for today's episode. Yeah. Okay. So another reason I really like this hoodie because it has the too cute. I would say shop brands, man, but I don't even think she got this business no more. But I got me a hoodie before it was too late. Period. Hold on, something. Camera looking. Camera looking a little red. Oh, okay. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's me. I need to move. I'm trying to adjust the camera. I need to move. I don't like how it looks with the thing on top. Okay. Let's get this party started. Okay, so hold on, y'all, because I gotta get my voice memo together. Connected here. Let me make sure. Check. 1, 2, check. 1, 2, check. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode with your girl, Jayla. That sucks. That sucks. I'm gonna tell y'all why this sucks. It sucks because I'm sitting here trying to figure out why do my thing be sounding like underwater, kind of. That's because I'm using my AirPods, but I figured if I use my AirPods, then it would be better on the sound. But it's like so unfortunate. Maybe I should edit. I'm gonna edit the video that I have and then edit the other podcast and put that out. Wait, let me see. Oh, I feel out of breath. Like a fatty. Okay. So, I'm sorry. I just want to check my... I want to check my thing because I want to see... Oh. The last... That's honey. I'm like, what the frick is that? What is wrong? Come. Come here. Okay, well, clearly can't use that, so let's make sure that John does not connect again. Okay, So we're gonna do another episode. No way. Y'all. I just sat here and set this up because honey, I'm doing something. Oh my gosh. Like, cats are like kids. Like, cats are literally like having children. I don't know. I like this little guy. This is my brother gave me this. So cute. Okay, let's get into this freaking episode. Like, come on, y'all. Let's get into this episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode with your girl, Jayla, aka Jazz, aka that girl. Shoot. Period. That's how I'm feeling today. So, hey, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. So excited to be here. So happy to just speak, have a conversation with you all today on this beautiful Saturday. Yeah, should be Saturday. Well, yeah, when I post this, it's gonna be Saturday. So boom. So today I just wanted to talk about preparation. And I just want to share something that I've watched / some stuff that I've realized over the past week about just preparing ourselves, and also just what it looks like after we've quote unquote prepared, I guess. I received a message today actually from a different podcaster, and I just love what she was talking about. I just love what she was saying, because she was talking about feminine energy, and she was talking about how, like, you have to do these things to prepare you to execute it. And she was talking about the dark feminine and then the divine feminine, and like what I received was just like, we're always preparing ourselves so that way we can exude that energy, so that way we can put that energy out there. And like, I've never thought about it like that. I've never thought about it that way. And it just aligns perfectly with prepping and like what it means to prepare and what does preparation look like. And that's important. I feel like that's very important and it matters. And yeah, so today I just wanted to talk about preparation. And to start off, like, I just want to say, I just want to remind everyone that the journey is not linear. Like, no matter how you may feel that the journey is linear and how this is easy. And like, I feel like a lot of people really do project that this journey is easy and that this journey is, I don't know. I really don't even, I can't. Like, personally, I've just really shied away from listening to other people's opinions and listening to what other people have to say. Like, I really want to start thinking for myself. Like, granted, I do want other people's opinions, but sometimes I do feel like, other people's opinions are, how do I say, like, other people's opinions are inflicting my choices. They're altering my state. So for me, I've just kind of just really been trying to separate myself from other people's thoughts and really trying to focus on what I'm hearing and what I'm receiving as an individual, and also being mindful of what I share and what I say, and like really differentiating what messages are just for me and what messages I'm allowed to share with other people. Yesterday, I did feel like I spoke out of turn, and I spoke and I said something that I shouldn't have said. But I'm thankful that it was to my sister and not like somebody that I don't know, because that could have been bad for not only me but for them, because it's like, I'm giving them information that they don't need, that doesn't resonate with them or whatever. Like, that was specifically for me. So sometimes I do need to work on that as well, just differentiating what to share, what not to share, and like what's for me and what's for me to share with other people. And I'm glad that, like, my sister, she does her own work and she does her own research, so I don't have to do too much when it comes to like trying to, like, either way it goes. Yeah. So when it comes to the journey not being linear, I recently got a finger tattoo, and the tattoo is the Unalome and the lotus. Now, I just want to go and tell y'all a little bit about the different parts of the Unalome and what they mean. And yeah, that's our visual representation today as of the journey not being linear, and just kind of overall, I feel like it goes into preparing ourselves and being ready so we don't have to get ready, and just constantly being in that flow state, and constantly being able to, like, the way I think about it as well is just focusing so we can execute, focusing so we can get there. You know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I had a coach my freshman and sophomore year of high school in Abington, Pennsylvania, and it was Coach Neely, and he literally said something that stuck with me forever. And like, track has just been a constant learner for me, and it really shaped, I wouldn't say it really did shape who I am, I'm not gonna lie. It really shaped a lot of my character, it shaped a lot of my leadership, it shaped a lot about me, because I just feel like the sport is very mental. The sport is very straight to the point in that way, and it's like it makes you be accountable. It holds you accountable for your times. It holds you, I'm sorry y'all, it holds you accountable for preparing. I'm hearing that it holds you accountable for preparing for meets, preparing to compete, preparing to do all of that, and it holds you accountable for your mistakes, because it's just like, you can't blame nobody else for your slow time. You got that on your own. And it's not like nobody can really lie about your time. The timer is the time. You're literally running against the clock all the time. Like, it's not about you and other person. You're racing against the clock, and the clock is going to win every time. Duh. But it's just like, that was always significant for me. But anyway, something that my old coach said to me one time, he was like, my job is to get you here. Your job is to execute. And like, me talking about preparing right now, it's just like, God gets us here. The universe gets us here. Your higher self gets you here. Like, our ancestors get us here, right? And now that we're here, we are supposed to be executing. We were placed here. Now it's time for us to execute. And then it's just like, all right, it's a lot, y'all, okay? I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of stuff that I want to share. And I really feel like I took time to prepare this so we could talk about preparing and like what that looks like and how that shows up. And like, we're always preparing. We're always getting ready to get to that next step. We're always preparing so we can reach a higher level of success. And success can be anything for anyone, like simply being able to have sleep at night, simply being able to show up every day as yourself is executing. Simple as that. So the Unalome is a symbol for the journey to enlightenment. I'm reading someone's thing. It says, I personally love this symbol as it reminds us that the path isn't always straight, perfect, or even in the right direction. Our paths to awakening are filled with missteps, lessons to learn, and suffering. That's not what I wanted to read. I wanted to read like a breakdown of it, because I know for a fact I had it. But okay, that's fine. We can go back to that later if it comes up again. All right. So the first question that I had asked myself, and I would also like to ask you all, is how do you prepare for personal greatness? How are you preparing to get you to the next level? And then boom, this also goes with my whole campaign for this month. Like, we are preparing so we can execute next month. So we can execute 2 weeks from now. We're preparing right now so we can get to where we need to go. Simple. And it's crazy that this was put on my heart, because it's just like, wow. Prep. You have to prep. You have to prep before you get to where you need to go. You have to get ready. Like, how do you expect to do something you're not ready for? Excuse me. So here are some ways that I say, we could start. We could start and be able to begin to prepare. I personally talk to myself, or if you are talking to God, talk to God, talking to the universe, talk to whatever higher power it is that you resonate with, that aligns with you and your life. So first, it's just like, you have to be transparent with yourself. You have to be transparent with God. You have to be transparent with the universe. You have to be transparent, period. And with being transparent, you have to ask. And like, I feel like a lot of people, they get scared of asking. And like I get scared of asking sometimes too. And like I remember, like, I want to say growing up, but like being a Christian and growing up in a Christian household, it's like so many rules. Like when I look back, it's like, bro, there's so many rules. There's so many things that need to be done in order for us to reach God, in order for us to be loved, in order for us to do all these things. And that's something else she had talked about on the podcast too, is just like, we grow up like, if I clean my room, my parents will love me. If I do this, I get a reward. And it's just like my worth is based off of the things that I'm doing. It's not based off of who I am authentically and who I am without trying. And like that limits us. And it's okay to ask for things. It's okay to be transparent with God about it. And I feel like when you're really transparent and when you really sit here saying, okay, I need help with this, that, and the third, because Bobby hurt my feelings yesterday, and he really cut me deep, and that hurt me. Like, you have to be transparent, like for real. Like, you gotta get real with yourself. And I feel like there's so many people out here that like want to grow. Like, it's half growth because you don't want to be real with yourself. It feels uncomfortable, it feels hard, it feels this, it feels that. And like, that's just a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Like, growth is uncomfortable. The journey is going to be uncomfortable, but just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's going to work out in a negative way. I feel like, y'all, like for real, like being uncomfortable is such a great thing to feel, because it's like, you fear the unknown, and the unknown is scary, but it's just like, bro, there's so, like, I think of Doctor Strange. Like right now I'm thinking of Doctor Strange and how in, what's that movie again? What was that movie, y'all? That movie. What was that movie? Oh, Infinity Wars. So in Infinity Wars, before he made the decision that he made, he went through every single possibility possible. He's like, there's literally one possibility that can change everything and like be beneficial, or it can be disastrous. And it's just like, y'all, there's so many possibilities. The unknown is unknown for a reason. And it's just like, then I think about this other movie. Oh my gosh, like these movies, y'all really need to tap in with the movies, okay? And maybe that's why it's been so beneficial for our family to really bang with the whole movie thing, because movies will show you exactly what you need to see, okay? So there's another movie, and it's Everything Everywhere All the Time All at Once, or something like that. And it's about this Asian lady, and like it talks about like, okay, so basically the life that she's living in the movie, like at that very moment, is like the worst timeline she's ever had. Like, this is when she didn't accomplish anything, she didn't go after any of her dreams. Like, this is her most miserable life. And so it's just like, and it just shows that like, literally every decision we make creates another path. Every single decision we make creates another timeline of events. And even though we're living in this timeline right now, doesn't mean that, that didn't alternate another timeline going on in a different way. Same how that intertwines with dreams and stuff like that, etc. It's a whole lot. It's deep. It's in depth, all of it. And as I sit here and I think about that, it's just like literally every change, everything is preparing you to execute these things. I started to think, I was writing in my journal. Ooh, you know what? Hold on. Let me get my journal. Should I get my journal or should I read the verse first? Okay. Spirit is saying read the verse. So I'm going to read the verse first and read what I put in my notes. And then I'm going to read my journal entry. So the first verse that I want to read is going to be Luke 18:40 through 42. And I feel like, some of these verses in the Bible, one thing that I had learned in church from a long time ago, growing up, was that the Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. And that never really left me. And I also do feel like, a lot of these verses are put in our paths so that way we may be able to have physical representations of, the instructions that God is giving for us, lessons to learn, like real life. And then something that I always remember hearing in school as well was that like history repeats itself. And like that kind of, I wouldn't say put a fear in me, but I will say that like it kind of just was like, oh my gosh, like history repeats itself. So that means, certain things that happened in the past could happen again. But then it's just like, history repeats itself, but like that's only if like you're not doing anything to really change for the present. I feel like it's kind of what I'm receiving from that. But yeah, so let me get to this page. Okay, so Luke 18, it's verse 40 through 42. So it says, Jesus stopped and ordered the man to be brought to him. When he came near, Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" "Lord, I want to see," he replied. Jesus said to him, "Receive your sight, your faith has healed you." And I had heard this in church, and I definitely I felt like it really resonated with asking and being transparent. Like, this is a blind man who's coming to Jesus and he wants to see. And he's like, "Bro, I want to see." Like, straight up, like, I'm blind. I'm trying to see. Like, that's all I want to do is see. And it's just like, God said, you asked, you will receive. It doesn't mean every single time you ask, you're going to receive something. It doesn't mean that every time you ask, you're going to receive it just then and there. But the simple fact that you asked, it was brought to God's attention. I feel like at the end of the day, even if, and y'all can replace God when I'm talking as well, because just for me, I resonate with more so God and like talking to him, because I feel like that's my friend. Like it feels very comforting, and it feels very secure when I think of God as like my friend, as my father. Like he is what I want him to be in that moment for me. Like sometimes I'm talking to God as my friend. Sometimes I'm talking to God as my equal. Sometimes I'm talking to God as my father. So I definitely feel like, make it your own. Like literally make everything your own. It makes the experience better. It makes it vibrates different. Like, you're doing what you want to do. And that's why I said earlier, like, limiting myself to opinions. And like, I was with my sister and her friend yesterday, and like, it just felt so good, but it felt so uncomfortable. I just feel like it's different when you're constantly talking to people that are moving in a space of spirituality, moving in a space of crystals and God and spirits all the time. Like it's different. It's a different world. And honestly, I did feel uncomfortable yesterday, but like I kind of just knew, like, at the end of the day, these are the type of people I want to be around. I always want to be around people that are talking about spirits and stuff. And honestly, I'm starting to get to a point where I am so comfortable with the fact, with people hearing me talk about spirits and stuff, and talk about, all the things that are working in my life, because just like, I used to be ashamed of that. I wouldn't say I was like 100% ashamed, but like I used to be ashamed of that. And right now I'm thinking about when we had first moved to Philly. It was third grade. And like at this time I was very Christian, homeschooled home. Like, bro, I'd be forgetting that I was homeschooled. Crazy. So anyway, so like, homeschooled since third grade. Go to third grade, I remember having this friend. I became friends with this girl named Manjo, and no one liked Manjo because she kind of did smell, but she was Indian, so I don't really know what that has to do with anything. But like, they usually have like a different type of scent or whatever. Like, they live different. Like it's a whole different culture and stuff. So like, no one ever went to be friends with her, and like I was friends with her, and like, we used to talk and stuff. And I don't remember how we stopped being friends, but I'm pretty sure I stopped being friends with her simply because, like, none of the other people wanted to talk to her. But I remember bringing my Bible to school one time, and like, I don't remember if I had talked to her about the Bible or if like I had just brought it because like I wanted to talk to her about it. Like, I don't know. Like, it was a very interesting time for me in third grade, because being homeschooled and living where I was living at the time, and then coming to Philadelphia and being around these kids who have been in public school since kindergarten. And mind you, I only know the people that my cousins introduced me to. And then it was like my cousins were upset with me because now I'm friends with the people that you introduced me to, and like all this other stuff. And it was just so much drama, and it was just so hard, and it was conflicting as crap, because like it was really a change. Like I didn't want to be Christian at school. I didn't want to tell people about God. Like I was scared of being a freak. I was scared of like people making fun of me, and like people made fun of me anyway. People made fun of me anyway. People bullied me anyway. Like it didn't matter. Like at the end of the day in elementary school, I felt like it was very different. It was a very different time. Like I was trying so hard to fit in, and like I wanted people to bang with me. Like, and that's another thing that I realized in my childhood for so long, was I just wanted people to be my friend. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be liked. But that's also because I'm realizing now that like it's just like it's not even that I just like being like bang with people. I love meeting new people. I like having conversations with people. I like to get to know people. Like, I'm not saying I want to be friends with everybody, but like, I've enjoyed listening. Like, over this summer, like, I really have enjoyed listening and really kind of being there for people, because yeah, like, it's just different to like really listen and like ask questions and like get people to think a little bit more. Like, that definitely fills me with joy. And then for people to tell me, like, I really felt heard, I really felt seen. Like, yes, perfect. Because I've always wanted to be seen. I've always wanted to be that. I don't know why I was even bringing that up, but I think it was just mainly just to say, like, like, I was ashamed of being a Christian. I was ashamed of showing this side of myself that was spiritual, that's always been spiritual, that's always had this type of connection. Like, yeah, it was hard. And I was friends with someone, and I left her because I didn't want to associate with myself of that, because it was uncomfortable, and it was weird. I don't want people to make fun of me. Whatever. Sorry, y'all. I feel like that was just a little tangent. But anyway, so boom. So when it aligns with this verse, Luke 18:40 through 42, what I had received was like, before God moves, he will ask you. Before God grants you what you want, he's going to ask you what it is. Like, he literally said, what do you want me to do for you? He asked the man, what do you want me to do for you? And the guy's like, I want to see. And then it's just like, that guy had the faith that he was going to be able to see. And so therefore God granted him that. So that's what I had got from it as well. And your faith will determine the path. We should take heed and ask for desires and healing and guidance. You have to come forward, make right with the relationship, so there's space to ask. Check yourself first before you try to check others. Limit expectations and distractions. Facts. And it's just like, people be scared to ask. And like, I used to be scared to ask. And like, I was getting into like prayer, and like, because growing up Christian and stuff, it's just like there's so many rules, and I feel like there's a certain way you have to pray, and there's a certain way you have to do this. And like, I remember this lady kind of broke down what prayer was supposed to be like, and so I started praying like that. But then I was like, bro, like this, like, it just, I had to really find my own way of prayer. I really had to find what resonated with me when I wanted to pray, because the structure of the prayer wasn't beneficial for me at all. So my prayer kind of looks a little different when I pray to God, but it just depends. It just depends on the setting, depends on how I'm feeling, it depends on my thoughts. So then I wrote, have great faith in preparation, because if God is preparing you, he will not let you fall. The universe will not let you fall. The angels will not let you fall. I will not let you fall. Me. I will not let you fall. I'm so here for everyone who listens, for everyone who interacts with me and constantly is just here with me. I'm here for you. I feel you. I love you. I am 100% all in for you. Yes, so I will not let you fall, and you are prepared for where you are right now. You are qualified. So I also want to read one more verse that kind of aligns with that, and then I want to read my journal entry from the other day, because like, this was really just speaking to me. I had listened to a sermon by Sarah Jakes Roberts, and she was talking about, like, this is where my whole prepared thing kind of came from, and she's talking about how God put us here for a reason. God knew what he was doing for you. Excuse me. Like, he knows he's not going to let you down. Like, he's preparing you to be in this position. He's putting you in place to be here. So that's why I'm just like, bro, like, the unknown, uncomfortability, all that stuff, it's like, it is what it is, because at the end of the day, like, the plan is already set for you. It's just about how you move. And if you're moving in a way where it's not beneficial to you, you probably not going to receive anything. Like, I just feel like I've really taken time to heal. Like, I've really, like, y'all, like, not having sex for 5 months, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's just like, I didn't even realize the time flew by. My energy, my person was just fulfilled with myself. And it felt like I was like, I kind of feel like all the sexual energy that I had, I was putting that into putting that into everything that I'm doing. And like, yeah, like, I was good. Come back to school, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little horny. But at the same time, it just wasn't enough for me to feel like, okay, let me go back to what I was doing before, if that makes sense. And not saying that I was out here just giving away my energy, but at the same time, I was. I was. And I really need to take a step back, and I really need to collect myself, and I really needed to take that 5-month break. And I wouldn't say that it was a whole celibacy thing. I don't remember if I had talked about this in an old podcast or like in a video or something, but in my most recent video, it'll probably go up. But I just like the whole sex thing and like giving your energy and stuff, and like celibacy is not like something that I really would say I identify with, but I definitely want to continue to take time to myself, like for months on end, than to be trying to have sex with people, and like really being mindful of who I'm having sex with, and also to just, yeah. So that's that. And yeah, I just like my body feels renewed, my spirit feels renewed, and like I don't feel like anyone's taking from me, and like I'm in control. I feel more in control about my sex life and who I'm sharing my energy with, etc., etc. So that's great. So I was gonna read another verse. So the next verse I have is Luke 7 verse 48 to 50. And this one's talking about a woman, and this is about her faith and like what God did for her with her faith. And so 48 to 50. So it says, then Jesus said to her, your sins are forgiven. The other guests began to say among themselves, who is this who even forgives sins? Jesus said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. So this woman, I was reading a little bit more so I kind of get a little bit more in depth. But this woman had faith that Jesus would protect her. And because she had faith, she was good. Like, she came to him with the faith that he was going to be there for her. And because she came with the faith is what really prevailed in that situation. And, when I think about faith, I think about the mustard seed, and how in church, they're always talking about the mustard seed. Well, in the Bible, God talks about the mustard seed, and like, it just takes the faith of a mustard seed. And like, just thinking about how small that is and comparing that with what we need, it's just like, come on. Like, it should be so easy to have faith. Like, there's no reason why you can't have faith. So let me grab my journal so I could just share with y'all some of my thoughts that I had the other day on this topic. And like, it's just so crazy how stuff like really just aligns. Okay, so dang, I wrote a lot this day, no cap. August 29th is when I wrote this. So, okay, so I received a word about my passion, reigniting that, being chosen by God. And I wanted to start reading Romans, because the past couple of days or so I've been seeing verses and they've really been resonating. Yes, so there's a lot of verses in Romans that I've been getting that have really just been talking about how God is there for you and how he is preparing you. He's there for you. Like, even though it feels like he isn't, like, have faith. I believe that the whole book of Romans is about having faith and trusting God and like showing you what your faith can do. And yeah, so that's why I'm going to start reading the book of Romans as well. So then I'm going to read some verses from Romans. Dang, like I feel like I'm reading hella verses, but I feel like the verses are really like aligning with the whole topic of being prepared, and really understanding that, God is here for you and I'm here for you. And, there are people here that are mending and changing the world and moving rocks, moving mountains so that you can achieve what you need to achieve. Like, I've really been thinking about my ancestors a lot, and I've been giving them thanks, and I've been giving God thanks. And I just feel like it's crazy. Like, mountains are literally moving so I could be where I need to be at the end of the day. Like, nothing can stop me. Nothing can go against me. Nothing can hurt me how think it's gonna hurt me. So Romans 5:5 says, oh, it's on the other page. 5:5 says, and hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Yeah, I don't know. I like that, but I like the one that I have wrote. Oh, here's a little footnote. It says, God's love for us has been lavishly poured out to the point of overflowing within our hearts. Paul moves from the objective aspects of our security in Christ to the internal, more subjective. God has implanted within our hearts evidence that we belong to him and what in that we love the one who first loved us. Spirit has been given. A marvelous testimony to God's love for us was that the Spirit was given, has given. That's nice. My Bible be having these little footnotes, and I need to look into them more. So, with all this preparing and reflection is because I was thinking about when I first started YouTube when I was 16. I was 16 when I first started YouTube, and I was so ready. I was all in, okay? And I was making video after video after video. And I wanted to talk. Like, I kind of wanted to do more like talking. Like, my first video, it's still up there. It says, Feel Better, Boo. And I love that video because my energy was just top tier. No cap. My energy was top tier. And I feel like it was really good. Like, I mean, for me being 16 years old and being able to put that out there like that, I felt like it was really good. The message was really good. And it's crazy because at 16, that's when I did start my self-love journey. And at that point in my life, I was reading books and I was preparing myself to fall in love with myself. I don't even remember really why that was ignited within me. And I now looking back, I feel as though that was my ancestors starting me. That was my ancestors preparing me to be here right now today on September. Today is what? September 2nd, 2022. God put me here. He's been preparing to put me exactly where I am right now at this very freaking second to talk to you guys, send this freaking podcast out, put that out there. He did that for me to be here right now. And sometimes, I do think and I regret like not being consistent with YouTube at 16. I regret not being consistent with it again when it was presented to me again in 2021, not being consistent with it then. But then it's just like, bro, was that 2021? No, that was 2020 when I was going to do YouTube again. So I started YouTube 2017, started doing YouTube again 2020, and then now starting doing YouTube 2022. 2017, 17, 18, 19, 18. I was saying, dang, that's every 3 years I'm back on YouTube. I'm not going to keep doing that, y'all. I promise I'm going to be very, very consistent. I'm showing up right now. So, boom. And yeah, and it's just like, I can't keep forgetting this. I can't constantly be thinking, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. Because at the end of the day, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And even though it feels crazy, at the end of the day, I'm meant to be here right now at 21 years old doing this. Like, I was prepared to be here. I've been in situations where it prepared me to be able to speak. I've been in situations where it's prepared me to change my mindset, where it prepared me to really just switch it up. Like, it's just like there's everything that happens for a reason, and that can never be false. It could never be false. And that's why it hurts my feelings. It hurts my heart when people are constantly talking about how, oh, I wish this happened. I wish this happened. Or they regret or they live in the past so much. And it's just like, how can you dwell on the past and want to change that? Because it's just like, once you change that, that changes your present. That changes your future. That changes everything. And it's just like there were lessons that were supposed to be learned at that time. There was something you were supposed to get And the fact that you're still reminiscing on it means that you didn't get it, and now your brain is trying to force you to get it. And that's why you keep thinking about the past. That's why you keep trying to, and it's just like you can really shift from, oh, I wish this happened, to really like, oh, so this happened because I needed to understand this. This happened so I could look at myself and be like, oh my gosh, Jasmine, you're doing too much. This showed me that, oh no, it genuinely isn't me, it's this person. Or it's not just this person, it's these type of people. These are the type of characteristics that go with this type of person. I need to stay away from them. I need to do this and the third. Like, everything needs to be analyzed. Stop feeling bad for stuff. Stop trying to like pity, the fear, the uncomfortability, all of that is dead. It's done with. That's how I feel. That's what I'm hearing. That's dead. It's done. We're not doing that no more. Like, it's over with. Let that die. I feel like there was something that I wanted to share in my, in my journal, but I'm reading this and I'm like, okay, well, I kind of talked about that. But yeah, I'm prepared, and we're supposed to have faith, full faith. Full faith is greater than uncertainty because you are always exactly where you're supposed to be. I am so grateful for God preparing me for this. I was originally presented when I was 16 years old, discovery of my purpose upon finding myself through self-love. I was presented the discovery again in 2020 and now again in 2022. I had to get ready and didn't even know it. To prepare me for right now, I am really loving this everlasting expansion of growth, being in these moments with myself. This time we've taken to know each other more has been more than words can even describe. So taking this time to really reflect and be free. Oh, boom. Here's another question that I want to ask as well. I feel like it resonates with preparing, because I don't want to say everything has like a goal, but I do feel like a lot of things resonate with where we want to be, our reality. What reality do you see in your head that you want to put out? What does that look like? And like, I feel like this question kind of helped me to really see what it is that I want for myself and what it means to be free. And I feel like I've had two different answers, but still kind of the same thing. So I'm just going to share. So I also want y'all to think as well, like, when do you feel free? When do you feel most free? So I feel free right now, truly free. Being in my parents' house made me realize that I wasn't myself at all. While being there, which I felt small, I began to think of how I show up as myself at school. Like, me at PV feels more real than any setting I've ever been in. When I'm at PV, I can dress, talk, walk, and go as I please. Nobody constantly questioning me, talking about me, worried about me, rubbing their energy on me. Lack of genuine support, and the list just goes on. Since being here, I felt me, authentic, and I just don't need to involve myself with energies that are not aligned. All in all, I feel free when I'm being myself, in my element, radiating energy of peace, optimism, love. When I am able to take up space and express what shows up as me, I am a force to be reckoned with. My cup overflows, freedom to pour into other people and maintaining my overflowing cup. That's my true feeling of freedom. I just don't want to be shook. I don't want anyone to feel like they can come and alter what I got going on, because sometimes y'all have to understand that, like, our energy speaks more volumes than just being a human. Like, there are people that will latch onto you because subconsciously their energy knows who you are. There are going to be people that constantly want to come in and out, like, bro, oh my gosh. Let me tell y'all about, I'm not going to say too much, but there was this friend that I had from literally, my cat keeps scratching up she keeps scratching up my journals. But this is my journal, me, my thoughts, and I. But anyway, me and my thoughts. Oops, my sister got me that. But anyway, so I used to have this friend. We are friends from 8th grade till last year. But mind you, we've been on and off friends since 8th grade. And like, I really had to analyze the situation and analyze what was going on. And like, each time we became friends again, it was a different season in our friendship. And it showed me different stuff about myself, but also different stuff about that person. And it also showed me things that I should look out for when it comes to other people. But just because you're looking at stuff from other people and implementing that to you now doesn't mean that like everybody's the same, if that makes sense. Because sometimes, like, it does help to really analyze past relationships with people, because it's just like sometimes you start looking at a friendship that you have, and it's just like, bro, I've been here before. I've been here before. This feels similar. And it's just like you really sometimes need to identify that so you can avoid situations. But this girl, like, overall, I just feel like deep down inside, subconsciously, her person wanted to be around me because like I created my own business. Like, overall, just look at who I am and look at what I'm doing and look at what I'm putting out, and like I would want to be around me too. I would want to be around me too. And like I find myself sometimes trying to be around people because, I want that energy. I want them to rub off on me. I had told this girl one time, like, I want you to rub off on me. And I wasn't even saying that on some, I'm trying to take from you. And I hope that's not what she received. But I was just more so like, I'm inspired by you and you inspire me and you make me want to keep going. And like, I want to continue to surround myself around people like that. And, that was a genuine energy that I had. But then it's like sometimes you could get around people and like you're telling them, oh, I want to do this with you. I want to do this with you. And then like they're like not really feeling that. But it's just like at the same time, subconsciously, like, you want to take from them. Like you're trying to implement stuff that's not really what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, it's because, okay, for example, my wax lady, there's the lady that I go to for my wax, one of them. I remember like I was doing too much. Like, I genuinely was doing too much. She already had told me, like, she's not a mentor. That's not what she does. She's not really trying to mentor me. And then it was just like, for me, I felt like, I'm speaking stuff into existence, but I was speaking stuff into existence to her. But it's just like, you're trying to force yourself into my business. You're trying to force yourself into my space. And like, you can't do that. Like, you can't be trying to be in people's face after they just told you, like, that's not, I'm not trying to, I don't know. Like, it just like, I was really coming off really aggressively, and like it was coming off like, I want to, like, I kind of just wanted her life in a way. Like, I don't know, it was just really nasty energy. And like I felt so bad because I was really genuine in everything I was trying to do, but at the same time, like, subconsciously, it wasn't, my intentions weren't really there, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, like it just really wasn't something that I should have been doing. And like at the end of the day, she checked me for that, and if she didn't, like, it would have been a different story. She texted me, she's like, I feel uncomfortable because you're always talking about how you want to do this with me and you want to do this and you want to do this with my business. And it's just like, this is my thing. I don't even know you for real. And I built this from the ground up. And like, you talking about you trying to come and work for me and do all this other stuff, and you trying to be in my stuff. And it just was just bad. Okay. Overall, the energy that I was exuding to her was just not well. And like, I felt bad and I apologized and stuff. And like, we're cool, cause she could tell me, like, she could tell me stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, it really did hurt my feelings, and it did change my perspective a little bit. But at the end of the day, like, I'm grateful that she expressed that to me, because then it showed me that sometimes I can't be doing too much. It did show me that sometimes I do like push myself into people, and like sometimes I'm trying to come from a pure place, come from a pure spot, but that's just not how you do it. It's just not how you do it. And you really need to identify when you're talking to people and identify when your intentions are pure and when they're not. And so, saying all that to say, like, sometimes this girl, it's just like, when I look back, it's just like, bro, like, I don't want to say she wanted to be me, but it's just like, you wanted to have all the same friends as me. You started a business. You said, oh, you inspired me to start a business, but really you started a business because you wanted to try to be like me. Like, it's like, you're following me. You're following every step that I'm doing, because at the end of the day, you understand what I meant. Your soul understands where I'm meant to be. Other people, their souls, they might not know, but like their souls know who you are. Their souls know the weight that you carry, and that's why they want to be around you, and that's why they want to constantly be in your presence, so they can take from you, so that way they can take that and implement it in their lives. And the more you continue to let them come in, the more they feel like they quote unquote know you, the more they feel like, you're still the same person, and they're still going to try to drag you down. And like, one thing about it is like, this girl, like, it just like, I really just started to notice stuff. And it's just like, when I was sad is when she talked to me the most. But when I was happy and in my element, like, she didn't really talk to me. And like, when she was happy in her element, she didn't want to talk to me. But when she was sad or she wanted to talk bad about other people, those are the moments that she spoke to me the most. And it's like, bro, now I really need to understand and identify who this person is. And then it's just like, I'm asking you for advice and you're taking slugs at me. I'm asking you for advice and you're trying to, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like the way I'm speaking to you is showing you that, I realize this, I realize that, but I feel this. And it's not even like well, Jasmine, you can't do this. You can't take this. You can't do that. Like, when someone is constantly attacking you and someone is kind of constantly trying to bring you down, it's just, they're jealous. They're either one, jealous. Two, they just need to they're projecting. I feel like a lot of people project, and we need to really identify what people are projecting onto you. Because it be stuff that they're saying to you, and it's just like, that's not even me no more. That's not even something that aligns with me anymore. And especially because she talked about in the podcast I was listening to earlier today too, she was talking about being mirror images and being reflections. Like, people that we meet sometimes are reflections of us. And also, honestly, I feel like that friend was a reflection of my past. And no matter how much I felt like she quote unquote grew, or no matter how much I felt like the friendship could have quote unquote been fruitful, she's still a reflection of me from my past. Because it's just like, when she kept telling me, oh, Jasmine, you can't take criticism. You always too worried about boys. You da-da-da-da-da-da. It's just like, you have this whole list of past stuff. Like, I just felt like everything she was saying is something that she would have said to me in 2016. I just feel like none of this that you're saying is resonating with me. Granted, some of it might be slightly true still, but at the end of the day, that's not who I am. And I just feel like you can't talk to me that way, because you're not talking to me right now. You're talking to me X amount of years ago. And that's a problem. And I don't need to stand for that. And I'm not going to stand for that. And like, that's dead. Like, that's honestly, truthfully dead. I'm not doing that. So yeah, let's stick behind ourselves and really, I don't want anybody to feel like they can come and try to disrupt what I got going on. Like, that's dead. Like, that's so dead. Especially because, yeah, I just understand what I need to do. Ah, my nail! Oh, I'm sorry, honey. My nail got stuck. My nail got stuck on my freaking blanket again. So another verse I want to share is Romans 8 verse 28, which says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Oh, we're meant to be here. God is telling you, you're meant to be here. I'm preparing you, even though it feels like you don't know where you're going. You don't know what you need to do next. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep going. Keep making mistakes. Keep doing the right thing and implementing and stuff. And that's another thing that she has said about the feminine energy. And like I said too, with the whole dark feminine, divine feminine, and just preparing yourself and executing it. I also realized this summer that, like, I'm taking a lot of time to prepare, but I'm not taking time to execute it. Like, I'm preparing, but I'm not executing. And I remember I was having a conversation with someone, and they were just like, bruh, I feel like, something, I'm preparing, I'm healing, I'm doing so good. And then next thing you know, stuff starts going bad. Stuff starts going bad. And, we automatically just be like, oh my gosh, like, why is this happening to me? And like, what can I do to change this? But in reality, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with like all the extra stuff. It's really about how you are being tested. That's what it's about. You're being prepped and then tested. Everything is you prep and then test. So anytime you feel like, it's a time of calm waters, and then it's like everything gets bad, it's because you're being tested to see how you're going to react. And it's just like, if you react the same way that you reacted before, you're going to come with the same thing again. You're going to be presented with the same challenge again, because you need to react differently. And I feel like for me, that's why a lot of my friendships have been the way they have been, because when I'm being prepared to be in the space that I'm in right now, But also I'm being prepared to interact with different people. I'm being prepared to have different type of levels of relationships, because I'm going to have different types of levels in relationships, and I need to be able to navigate through those. And so therefore I was being prepared to put me, you know? So we're always being prepared. We always need to be ready for the test. I feel like, I mean, no pressure, but sometimes, like, I don't know, like, do what works for you. But if it's easier for you to feel like, okay, I'm in this season of preparing myself, I'm chilling right now, life is good, things are going good, I'm doing what I need to do, boom, cool. Something bad happens. Something that alters our energy, alters our faith, alters our knowledge, alters our mind. And whenever that happens, we gotta, okay, go back to prepared. Go back to our notes. Let's go back to our journals. Let's go back to the sermons. Let's go back to the reminders. Let's go back to the YouTube videos. Let's go back. When we're being tested, let's normalize going back to notes. Let's normalize studying. Let's normalize constantly learning. And that goes into constantly being a learner. Because if we're constantly learning, it could never feel like there's something going against us. It could never feel like, well, this is just my personal perspective, and this is what I'm kind of like, this is kind of a thought that's popping into my head, like, okay, maybe if I can continuously go back to when preparing myself while, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I can go back in my notes that I took while I was getting prepared for this situation, I feel like a lot of stuff is happening so that way when that specific situation comes up, we can really go back to our notes, go back in our brain cells, and really reevaluate. Me and my best friend have been arguing all freaking summer long. Let's be real. And there's a lot of times where I had to go back. I had to go back and read the messages to see what the issue is. Where is the miscommunication? Where am I going wrong? Where may she be going wrong? Like, really identifying and analyzing, like, come on, y'all. Like, sometimes it may feel like it's too much. I feel like someone in this collective feels weighed down. You feel weighed down because going back and trying to analyze feels like too much work. It's too much thought. It's too much overthought, because I did catch myself in that space as well. Like, I stopped thinking. I wouldn't say like I completely stopped thinking, but there was a point in my life where overthinking was just taking over every situation, every relationship, everything. I'm just overthinking everything to the point where I just stopped overthinking. I just stopped thinking too much. And then that created a problem, because now it's like I'm not thinking enough to the point where I'm constantly still getting into situations I should not be getting into. Just dry doing stuff. Like, no, you need to analyze. You need to think. You need to stop and think. And my sister said it the other day, and it's just like in elementary school, I feel like Abington was too good. It was too good. It's just so much stuff that happened. There's just so much stuff that we were taught as kids that really resonates now. Like, overlook, I remember they used to talk about stop and think. That was the whole thing. Like, stop and think. Before you do something, you need to stop, think about it before you move. Because, like, you really just be like, I just remember this dry doing stuff. Like, I can't even sit here and tell y'all how much dry stuff I was doing, but it's just like, bro, like, you really need to stop and think. You can avoid so many situations if you would just sit, trust yourself, have faith in whatever higher power, and move like that, flow in that state, constantly being consistent in that state. Boom. Collective, we need to analyze, we need to go back, we need to keep filling our cup, we need to keep watching videos, we need to keep preparing. Like, literally, before I even started this podcast, I made some coffee, listened to some podcasts, listened to some encouraging words so I could prepare myself to speak, so that way I could fill my cup to speak. And that's important. I don't think anybody talks about how important that is. And I didn't really kind of realize how important it was until I did it this morning. And I did it before my last podcast. And it's like, I do it every single morning. I need to prepare myself for the day. I need to prepare myself to be around other people. Like, if I'm not preparing myself, I do realize a difference in my day. I wish I did more yoga. I will be doing more yoga coming forward, but I did realize that like the days that I wouldn't do my morning routine, wake up and at least talk to God, or at least just silence, or at least just something for me, journaling, meditating, something. When I realized I didn't do like at least one thing, one or two things, my whole day is different. My whole attitude, how I interact with people, it's just different because I didn't take that time to do what I needed to do to prepare me for today. I didn't do what I needed to do to prepare me to be around other people's energy. That's why you need to consistently fill your cup. That's why you need to consistently be in your own space, be in your own energy, and flow. Flow state. Boom. Another but last verse I want to share is Romans 12:12, which says, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. And I just feel like, at the end of the day, we should be constantly flowing, constantly in states of, what's it say? Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Let's see what the footnote says. The footnote says, of Christ's return and our ultimate redemption, which is to be joyful in hope. And it says, patient affliction, faithful in prayer. See notes on, so many. I'm sorry, I'm personally just not about to go back and do all these, but feel free to look into Romans. I think that it really talks about faith, and it really talks about having that faith and what that looks like and how God is showing up for you. If you want to see how God is showing up for you, I believe like Romans is the place to be. I've only read chapter 1 so far, but I will be reading more in the upcoming time. So I also wanted to talk about a challenge that I had did in the past. I also want to do it again, and it was presented to me. My cousin had sent it to me on TikTok. And so basically, you ask yourself these 3 questions every single night, and it says, so one question is, what filled me with enthusiasm today? What drained me? And what did I learn about myself? When I tell you at the end of the day to really go back and analyze your day, it's like you kind of move differently. It definitely gives you a sense of accountability. Definitely gives you a sense of transparency, because you have to be real about it. You have to be real about what drained you. And I feel like sometimes what we don't talk about is the fact that how, I want to identify this, I want to identify that, but like, how do I, it just really forces you to really question what it is. And I remember when I had presented this to my friend as well, and she was just talking about how, like, what filled her with enthusiasm. She's like, nothing really happens in my life. I don't really have anything that, like, is to get excited about. But I'm just like, listen, it's not really about, like, forcing yourself to, like, be appreciative of something. It's more so forcing you to have gratitude throughout your day, to really identify what made you happy, to identify what really brought you joy today. It doesn't have to be Jack. It don't have to be nothing. It could be anything. All right, it's okay. I'm about to go back in time. Oh, I got some letters to myself in here in my little journal. Yeah, I'm gonna go back through my journal, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go through this yet, just because this is still a fresher journal. Okay, so I'm gonna do when I first started this challenge, which was April 17th. Just picked a random one. So what brought me enthusiasm that day was watching De'Ara and listening to Dre and Lex. I freaking love that podcast. Such a good podcast. And I also cooked that day, and I made pizza, so that also brought me enthusiasm. So what drained me was work. It was tiring that day, and I came home and cleaned and slept. That's what kind of felt draining. So then the last question says, what did I learn about myself? There are areas in my life that I need to work on, and I realize that I may not be ready for a good man. Simply, wow. Okay, anyway, simply because I've just had people with 50% good intentions. I also learned that I feel like a lot of people want me to be like everyone else. They meet me and they think wow, and that's not me for real. Crazy. That's crazy that I just read this, because like I realized this was in April that I realized this. But then I realized this again like last month when I was supposed to be going. Anyway, it was just a situation, and like I there's this girl, and like she's really cool, and like, you know, we were supposed to do something together, and like the communication was just off, and it's just like it was just a lot of things, and like it just really showed me that like people really will have a perception of who you are and then try to force you to be that, or they're like expecting you to move in that way, so then they talk to you or they treat you in a way that it's like you're supposed to be responding like this. Why aren't you responding like this? Like I thought you were da, 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 da. And it's just like I saw that, like, you know, from the time that I started hanging out with her till that moment, it's just like, yeah, you thought I was somebody, you had an idea of who you thought you had an idea of who I was, and then now that you're hanging out with me and you're seeing that that's not who I am, who you thought I was, now you're confused and you're offended or whatever. And it's just like, I personally I'm not supposed to be living up to whoever you think I should be. And that just reminded me of Michaela's YouTube video too. She had said how this girl met her. I guess like her friend had already told this girl about like who she is, and you know, gives you surface level information. Like how can you just build me based off of a surface level interpretation? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so basically the girl had this surface level idea of who she was. And then when she met her in real life, it was, oh, I thought you were going to be like this. Like she literally told her, I thought you were going to be like this. I thought you were going to be like that. Like, dang, can I even come and be myself first? Y'all be trying to, And I did see something the other day, and it was like, you know, this culture of nobody owes me. No, I don't think that has anything to do with this. I don't even want to scratch. So anyway, boom. I definitely will challenge y'all to do this at least for this month. Let's do that for this month. Let's do that every night. Ask yourself those 3 questions. What filled me with enthusiasm? What drained me? What did I learn about myself? Boom. I'm going to start that tonight. Today's September 2nd, so I'm going to start that tonight. I'm going to put that in my Discord chat. Tell them, you know, this is what I want to start. Here are my intentions for this month. And I want to start doing this so I can hold myself accountable. So I can be able, like this is going to hold you accountable for your feelings and your emotions, and how you can change that, and how you can alter and be in control of that. Not too much in control. Come on, y'all. Just understand there has to be a balance between everything. Everything doesn't have to be 100% controlled. But there are things you control. There are things that you can't control. If you watch my most recent YouTube video, I talked about some of the things that I can control, and blah. Boom. So also, don't look when you write these as well. Like when I tell you I haven't read any of the question and answers that I did from this challenge. I haven't read any of them. So make sure that you don't read them until the challenge is over. So after you do X amount of days of this, don't look at it until later on. So boom. Why did I pick this challenge? Why did I want to share this challenge with you all? To hold yourself accountable to emotion, to reaction to self, and to express gratitude, and to also let go. Like I feel like sometimes as well, like, you know, stuff drains us. There are things that drain us, and we hold on to that subconsciously, or we hold on to that. We never revisit it and like let it go, like, because that could come back later on. Boom. So while being prepared, we need to be reminded, going back into reanalyzing and refocusing and starting over. We can always start over. We need to consistently be reminded. So I have some affirmations and some words that are good reminders, I feel like, for myself, but also for you, collective, as we go through this new season, as we go through this new month. Really excited for it. I feel like it's going to be some really good change. I got my crystals. I'm feeling super connected right now. So I know y'all are feeling super connected right now. So I am qualified. Pain is temporary. Everything is working for my favor. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am protected. I am safe. Boom. Write those down. Take note. Do what you got to do. Make it your own. Fall in love. Fall in love. My lash is getting stuck, and it's like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I also want to talk about, lastly, well, this is the last. Well, yeah, this is pretty much the last thing. that I wanted to mention as well was the book. I read this book over the summertime called The Alchemist. And boom, there's a free there. I know for a fact there's a free PDF online. I definitely had it, but I also got the book on Audible and I just listened to it. It did not take that long. It's a short read, but I think it was a really good book, and I feel like it definitely aligns with preparing and being ready. And the story is just about a boy who is a shepherd, and he's goes on his life journey basically to get his treasure. And it's just like on this journey, he just learns so much about himself, so much about the journey, and understanding the journey is not linear. Also understanding what it looks like, and like it's just like once again, he's being prepared for something. He was being prepared. Like the whole journey was preparing him for his treasure, and then preparing him for when he got the treasure, and then what happened after he got the treasure. So it's just like, bro, like we're on this journey and we're being prepared, but we're being prepared and executing at the same time. And that's why it's important to continue to prepare yourself. That's why it's important to be ready so you don't have to get ready. It's important to continue to analyze. It's important to keep going back. It's important to do that. Um, Boom. So definitely check out The Alchemist. Definitely that was a good read. It's not too long. It's a really good book, and there's a lot of good like things to take away and implement into your own lives. And once again, I just love suggesting things because I like to hear what other people got from stuff, and I like to hear like how you made that your own. Like I like to share my own thoughts as well, because sometimes I feel like, dang, like I really made this my own, and like I want someone else to feel like they can make it their own, or maybe they resonate with what I made. Maybe that makes more sense how I said it. But I also want to link down below this video, and I felt like I was listening to it yesterday, and the question that I asked for the video was just, is God calling? Is he calling you to be here? Is he preparing you to be here? I'm going to link that down below. Feel free to watch that. I also made a playlist on my YouTube channel of like videos that I've watched that have kind of inspired me or changed my mindset. And so I'm going to link that down below as well. So feel free to check out that playlist if you want to expand knowledge or expand inspiration or expand like different stuff. Like I just feel like there's so many people out here creating content, and there's so many people out here creating stuff for us to use and to period just to use, because there's so many tools out here and we have to utilize them. Like everything we need is here right now. God is preparing us because everything we want is already ours. My desires are in my heart. Oh, hold on, here's the affirmation: I'm worthy of my desires because they are in my heart for a reason. Everything I want I already have. Everything, boom. And it just reminds me of one time I remember when growing up, there was this guy and he said this to me, and like I never forgot it, because it's like facts. Like imagination isn't even like imagination where it comes from nothing. Like it had to come from somewhere. And I remember I was talking to him about like horror movies, and I'm just like, I don't really bang with horror movies. Not really my forte. But yeah, and so I'm telling him about that, and he was just like, well, those horror movies are not made up because somebody had to experience that. Someone had to have experienced the demon. Someone had to experience this in order for it to be portrayed in movies, portrayed in books, portrayed. There's so many things that I have, like I was saying earlier, I've experienced things that had prepared me to put me here. So people have experienced things that they're putting out that we're seeing. And it's just like people watch these horror movies. Listen, I don't have nothing against, personally, I'm not watching no horror movie. And I don't have nothing against anybody else watching those. But me personally, I just feel like that's a door that I'm not trying to open. And I just don't feel any, and maybe my dad also influenced my thoughts towards horror movies. But like, why do I want to be scared? Why do y'all want to be scared? Like, why do you want to be scared? I'm so confused. Like, I personally I don't see a thrill in that. I don't see a thrill in those types of movies. See, I could watch like a thriller like that, but horror, anything that's demonic, anything that's just evil spirits, this, that, and the third, I personally just can't. I can't. Like, I literally can't. Like, I just remember as a kid, like having experiences where I felt a presence. Like I would watch a horror movie and I feel the presence of whatever that was watching me. Like when I tell you it used to feel like something was watching me, I just couldn't. Like I just couldn't do it. That's why sometimes I still sleep with light on. Like I've been sleeping with my Himalayan salt lamp on. Um yeah, just like a nice like dim light. I just yeah, recently I just haven't been able to sleep in the dark personally. And yeah, and I just yeah, no. I just personally I just can't. I've had too many experiences where I felt presence, where I felt like I've seen stuff, like genuinely seen like faces or genuinely seen bodies, and not even on some like, oh, the coat was hanging on the coat rack. No, baby. Seriously seeing like a figure in shadows. So, and I also just feel like for me, I do feel connected. And one trip that I had on shrooms, I felt so connected to the spiritual world, and I felt like I was half in the spiritual but half here, and I was seeing stuff, and I felt like Honey, my cat, had seen it too. So that's when I was just like, yeah, like I feel like I have been connected. And as kids, we're connected as well. So it's just like, it just made sense that I genuinely probably was feeling like real life demons. Not like they were sitting here messing with me, but I just genuinely had experiences where I just don't put myself in the position to watch horror movies and all that other stuff. And people think that's a joke. And personally, I wouldn't say it hurts my feelings or it gets to me, but it's just like if I said I don't bang with scary movies, I don't. And there's so many reasons why I don't. That just reminded me, listen, y'all, I'm just going to tell y'all because these are my real experiences. And like, if these are stuff that you're experiencing, I would suggest cutting low on horror movies because I feel like you are allowing a presence in your life. Some people maybe not, but some people maybe yes. For me, it's a yes. I remember my roommate, I didn't even know this, mind you, right? I had told her about a dream I had. So basically, I was having a dream, and I just remember like the dream just went left ASAP. It just went left, and like I felt like there was a demon in my room, and I felt like, I just remember opening my eyes and laying straight up, and it kind of felt like someone was choking me, or like somebody, like it just felt, my chest felt heavy, like someone was sitting on me or something. And I just remember hearing like, kill yourself, or like kill something. And I'm like, oh, nah. I'm waking up like, oh no, 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 no. And I remember saging the apartment, saging my room, and I remember telling my roommate, and she was like, oh, me and my boyfriend was watching The Conjuring 2 last night. I'm like, look at y'all bringing demons on my freaking. That was just too much. And that was like another freaking confirmation that horror movies and all the demon time is just not for me. It's not for me. It's just not, genuinely not for me. Like I was scared. Like I genuinely felt scared. It was bad for me. But anyway, yeah. So if anyone else has had like experiences like that or felt like that, then yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much, that's crazy. This has been a really good talk. I can't lie. And I didn't know where it was going to go, but I'm really excited for where it's going. I did record myself. So today, September 2nd, I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel. Just going to post it straight out how it is. I'm not going to do any type of editing. But the podcast for it will be out tomorrow, Saturday. But I'm going to post this today on my YouTube channel. So technically you get early access if you're on my channel. So I mean, come on, join me. I also did start my campaign for this month as well. So feel free to join me on Instagram to really tap in. Feel free to also continue to watch me on YouTube because a lot of stuff I'm doing on YouTube is also what I'm doing in real life. So if you want to keep up with me doing that, we could do that as well. This was such a great time, such a great conversation. I feel like it's been really good. And thank you for sharing space with me today, Collective, and anyone else who is new or, just so happened to listen in today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful for you. I love you, and I'm here for you, and I'm rooting for you. And you didn't come across this video for no reason. You didn't come across this podcast for no reason. Everything happens for a reason. You're meant to hear this. You're meant to be where you're at. You're meant to have your thoughts. You're meant to have all these things happening. Also, I'll share as well my new and quote unquote new intention that I have for this month. I said I'm divine feminine. I'm stepping into who I am supposed to be: kind, loving, compassionate, resilient, ambitious, wise. I want to embody the divine feminine, embrace change, and become more knowledgeable, consistently filling my cup to pour into others, always the learner. And after this conversation, like, I really want to implement faith and implement the unknown and being connected. Like, I really want to feel more connected this month to people that resonate with me and be more connected in this space. Because what I've also noticed over the past 2 weeks was that I don't have that many people that I'm having these type of conversations with. But I feel like I haven't presented myself in this way to have these type of conversations. So I want to keep presenting myself, and I want to continue to show up like this so that way my life can be this all the time. I feel like I've been I've been living in my element, but I kind of want to feel it more. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm smoking to kind of feel that more, but that's not helping me as much as I thought it was. I got some crystals to help me feel that connection more. I've been praying. I've been talking to y'all, talking to myself to really feel that connection more. So I really want to implement this month aligning, being in alignment, embodying this experience, embodying my preparedness, and being ready. I need to be ready. My ancestors are telling me that I need to be ready. Spirit is leading me to be ready. I feel like the spirit is leading the collective to be ready. And, we need to be ready. There's so many people that are connected to me. There's so many people that are connected to me. And this is, bro, like, my body feels so good right now. There are so many people that are connected to me. You know who you are because you're probably listening to this, because we are connected. And thank you, God, for all the people that are connected to me. And I just really feel like the collective that is connected to me, we have so much to share. We have so much love to give. And we're just radiating so much authenticity. And people are so drawn to us. The people that I'm connected to are really living in this constant flow state. The people connected to me, y'all, all right, let's really do my campaign, like, for real. Because the more I think about it, we're preparing. The people connected to me are preparing right now. I feel like a lot of the people I'm connecting with are people that know what they want to do, but are still experimenting how to execute that, are still experimenting the show up part. And it's all about preparing on how you want to show up. I spent 5 months preparing to be here right now. I spent 5 months preparing myself to be here right now. 5 months. And the journey is so beautiful. The journey is so beautiful. My TikTok has shown me that the journey is so beautiful. I remember, I want to say begging for 100, but I remember hitting 100 followers and I was so hyped. So hyped. I haven't posted on TikTok that much, and now I'm at 500 followers. I've gained 400 followers within 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. It's just so beautiful to be here. It's so beautiful to just connect with you all. I'm just going to pray because I feel very called to pray, and I want to pray with you all. And feel free to skip, turn it off. I don't care. But I do feel the need to pray and really kind of take a couple minutes to just meditate and really close out. I don't want to just end here. I just want to, have like a little peaceful kind of closing. And I just feel so called to pray. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for all of you, for me, for God, for love, for Honey. And she sleeps. But okay, let's just pray. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, God. Thank you, everyone who's listening. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the constant faith. This has just been such a great experience to express myself, and I just pray that today continues to be beautiful, continues to be outstanding. Thank you for love from the people who are watching. Thank you, God, for your love. Thank you, ancestors, for your love. Thank you to everyone who's rooting for us. Thank you to everyone who's rooting for the collective. Thank you for showing up for us all the time and having faith in us, same way we have faith in you. I'm so grateful for this time, so grateful for these moments, and I'm so nervous. I feel uncomfortable praying. I feel uncomfortable putting this out here with no edits. But I know that this is something that I need to just do, and I need to just put it out there, and I need to have faith behind it, that it'll reach who it needs to reach. I am grateful for peace. I'm grateful for reanalyzing. I just pray that we as a collective can continue to be real, continue to keep it raw, continue to be authentic. It's all about being authentic and genuine and being who you're meant to be, and stop trying to be like other people. Stop trying to fit the norm, quote unquote. Stop trying to be in the box. The box is dead. Let's cut that out. Think of the movie Bird Box. That's what I heard. Bird Box. Thank you for the message from today. Thank you for today. Thank you for waking us up. There's so much love in the air, and there's so much knowledge. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for today. Today's gonna be so good. Yeah, I don't have any more words. I don't think. Kind of just want to sit in silence, see what else comes up. I hear there's great fortune for someone in this collective, and that's rich in love, that's rich in knowledge, that's rich in money. You're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. Everything is happening for a reason. You have to continue to prep, continue to be yourself. Go back to your notes, go back and listen. Let's start listening. Thank you, God, for everything that you've done. Thank you, God, for everything that you continue to do. Thank you, God, for everything that you keep doing. Thank you for everything that's ready for me. I just need to get ready. I'm slacking. I need to get ready. Thank you for allowing me to show up self. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for rocking with me and changing for real. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for being real and raw with me. Thank you for sitting me down and really having real conversations that I can't have with other people. It's hard, y'all. Collective, it's hard out here. It really is. But it's not worth beating yourself up for it. It's not worth giving up. It's not worth talking about other people. It's not worth all the negative energy that is so consuming. I had to open my eyes on that because we are being consumed in ways that we don't need to be consumed. I pray that this video can be uploaded with peace and steadfastness. Thank y'all for coming today. Thank you guys so much for coming today. It means everything for me. Thank you for showing up for yourself, because this means you're showing up for yourself. If you're tuning in and you're watching this and you're connecting with me, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Because there's a message I'm supposed to be sharing. I don't know who I'm supposed to be sharing it to, but I know it's somebody out there that needs to hear it, that needs to see it. Parts of it, even if that's part of it, if that's the whole freaking thing. Listen, this recording is telling me an hour. Oh, geez, an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, this was good. This had to be good. This This had to be good. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But thank you, God. I'm so excited. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Let me get out of here before I'm just talking too much pointlessly. Boom. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode with you. Hopefully that is good. I'm so happy. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that I recorded this too, because I'm going to post this today, right now, actually. And then make sure I get my links together and everything that I want to post. About to get ready in a little bit. I've already showered, which is perfect. And then after I shower, get ready and start heading to, what's it called? Check my phone, because it's crazy how your phone blow up. But yes, I will catch y'all in the next video. Stay tuned for my next upload, which will be kind of like a week in my life. I don't remember really what it is, but make sure y'all stay tuned in. Good morning. Wait, ticket distribution is concluding for the day due to lightning. It will start again tomorrow at 1. Okay, I'm gonna stand in line. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like stuff has been coming up as well because looks like it's a whole bunch of conversation going on. Okay, well, let me tap into this right now. Let me tap into my day. Let me get. Oh, dang. Podcast not gonna hear this, but if you made it all the way to the end, much love. But something else that I had seen as well was just not always being isolated. Like, yeah, we're preparing, but don't isolate yourself in a way where, you know, you're having a false reality. You have a false reality on life. Okay, hold on, y'all. I gotta add that in the podcast. Do I? No, we just gonna talk about it on here because if you tuned in, you tuned in. I should have just made this alive. I wanted to make it alive, but I wasn't sure like if it really should have been alive or not. But technically, let's just pretend this was alive and people were in it and, you know, we talked. But maybe I'll do that for the next one. I think the next one I probably will make it alive and I'll do it on Saturday so that way I could just post the recording. Period. Also got to take mental notes. That's another reason why I like recording everything. But yeah, like that's something else she was talking about in the podcast as well, was just like literally like, oh, I'm not editing this, so I'm gonna show y'all a picture of the Unalome and like the breakdown of it as well, just so y'all can see and have a visual for it. But anyway, what she was saying was that, you know, you don't want to be so isolated where your perception becomes like a pessimist and it's not real life. Like you start lying to yourself and you start getting a false perception on life when you're constantly preparing yourself and just being alone. Like you have to still converse and you still need to be with a congregation of people. You still need to be around other people and hear their opinions and stuff. Like you still need to be a part of the world, even though we're going through this time of kind of like trying to get out of being a part of the world, if that makes sense. But just what you get from that is what you get from that. But don't isolate yourselves. Yes, you need time to be alone to fill your cup and regroup. But once you're filled and you're in that state, boom, you gotta go out there. Boom, you gotta share. Boom, you gotta do this. And you know, something that was kind of, I wouldn't say was difficult, but something that was brought to my attention is how can you expect to reach other random people if you can't even reach the people that you know? And it's just like, you know, I feel like I've spent a lot of time gathering myself alone, and like I was so ready to speak to the people that I don't know, but it's just like, come on, babes, we gotta talk to the people that we do know first. And even though it is scary and it's uncomfortable for me to show up like this to people that have known me for years, people that have known me for months and literally have never seen this or maybe have seen glimpses of this, it's hard. it's hard. I want to say it's hard to show up, but it's scary to show up, and it's nerve-wracking, but I'm so grateful for the people that are connected to me, because I feel like even though some people have given me an energy that has made me feel upset, made me doubt myself, I needed that. So that way, when the people that connect with me and really resonate with me and make and say things to me, they make me feel so good, and they make me feel more comfortable. And I'm just so grateful for the people that are connected to me. Like, it means way more than they know. So let me share this Unalone picture. Here's the Unalone picture. I guess, that's basically what mine looks like. And so I'll just read that because I think it's going to show backwards. So the straight line, here, I'll just show mine as I read it then. So the straight line of, so the straightening of the line symbolizes becoming centered, wiser, and closer to alignment. It can also symbolize maturity and understanding that comes with life experience. The dots, they symbolize reaching one's goals, freedom, and enlightenment. Sometimes a lotus is depicted instead of the dots. So the dots and the lotus are both symbolizations of goals. And I feel like that's what my grandma is showing me as well. Just like, keep doing what you doing. Continue to have great faith. I guess I could show whatever. And so the lines, which is this part. So the lines that make up the majority of the image indicate the path that your life takes as you reach enlightenment. This is the part that's like the journey's not linear. You're going through all these hoops and tricks, and it's just all this stuff going on. And so then this is the base, I guess. Like, this part is kind of like the base part. And it symbolizes the starting point of life, the day you were born, or beginning of your spiritual awakening. So this is the beginning. This is kind of like the middle. And I guess this is the end. We begin our journey and we go through our journey, and it's not easy, and it's all this stuff going on, and like, it's hard, and we're trying to get there. We're trying to get here. We're trying to get to the dots where we separated ourselves from everybody, where we've been centered. We've been centered, and now we can get to that goal. Now we can get to that freedom. Now we can do what we need to do. That's my tattoo. I feel like my grandma told me about that, and I've been wanting this for so long. And I originally wanted it like right next to this tattoo for my uncle, but I think I want to do a sleeve, and I just want it to be like lilies. I wanted it to be a bunch of lilies and stuff. But the guy that did my tattoos recently, he's going to help me do that. I'm not sure if I even showed y'all the tattoo back here. Oh, but I got this hoodie on. There's no point. I'll show y'all another video. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's been an hour and 40 freaking minutes, and it was a beautiful hour and 40. But I definitely, it's 10:30 in the morning, and I need to get myself together. Let me check where my friend is at and stuff. But let me not do too much on here. Catch y'all on the flip. Peace. Oh wait, should I get like a, I don't know. Hopefully there's like a good picture in here or something.